somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, you hear that theme song, you know, it's time for another edition of Straight Talk, and time for me to bid you, St. Kitts and Nevis, a very pleasant night, wherever you are in the Federation, whether on St. Kitts and or on Nevis, wherever you are, my Straight Talk family, we welcome you to this edition of Straight Talk. And for those of you who may have joined me for the first time, just to inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let us in the process continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest, and I say that with a heavy heart tonight. Let us strive to keep St. Kitts as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And my Straight Talk family, first of all, it seems like a long time since we've had a conversation on Straight Talk. It seems so long since we had a conversation on Straight Talk. And my family, my Straight Talk family, there are many issues, so many issues, and all need to be addressed. But we cannot practically address or do that in the time we have available. But I propose tonight as my thesis for tonight, protection and freedom of expression. And I will tell you why in a few moments. But first of all, my Straight Talk family, again, it's our first show for 2023. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And I pray for your continuing good health and strength and happiness. And of course, continuing prosperity is important as well. And my family, I had a good Christmas. I had a very good Christmas. But before I get into the meat of it all tonight, I must make special mention and extend condolences to all who have lost loved ones at home and abroad. I must make special mention of a wonderful lady, Andrea Lizzie Charles Brown, who passed away on Christmas Day, December 25, 2022. And she has left to mourn her husband, Dave Brown, mother, Phoebian Charles, and her 5 children, Davida, Andrea, Phoenicia, Isa, and Angelina Brown. And I do extend condolences to the entire family. We have not for a long time as well looked at our COVID-19 update. We have not for a long time looked at that particular update. But since Prime Minister Drew opened St. Kitts and Nevis for business, after he declared the Federation COVID-free, in recent times, however, many rumors have been making the rounds about this dreaded disease, and we ought to be concerned about it. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has asked persons to remain vigilant against several respiratory infections, including COVID-19. Concerns over the influenza, my family, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, the flu, as well as the new strain of the COVID-19 rise right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The Omicron variant, I think it is, which is considered the most transmissible variant to date for all age groups, including both adults and children. And this has led to much speculation in terms of a clear policy. After all, we are open to the world, and we are getting an increased number of passengers coming off the cruise ships, also landing by air, and thus prompting many questions. Is there, for example, or can there be a proper surveillance of these cases? What tracking measures are in place, if any, and what is the level of testing is another question we ask. But truth be told, people have advanced. People have their own test kits at home, and people do their own testing. How did they report? We don't know. However, as of January 12, 2023, these COVID statistics have been reported by the Ministry of Health, as enunciated here by Carla Berridge of ZIZ Television. Let's get back to that. I'll get back to that soundbite, my Stray Dog family. The statistics as we have it, a number of imported cases in the last 14 days are 5. We have some 8 persons quarantined at home and some 8 persons in isolation. Now, an integral part of our program as well is our observations in review. And that's the time when we highlight the issues that we may have addressed in the past, and we do some reflection. We can then ask, or we do ask a few questions, such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, and what can be expected next. Also, what new we have learned as a people. And my family, since the new Nevis Island administration was sworn in at the El Camino Willard Park under a cloud of controversy. 2 election petitions have been filed regarding the outturn of the December 12 elections. Yes, you heard me. 2 election petitions have been filed with regards of the December 12th elections. Last week, Dr. Patricia Bartlett filed the first petition against Mark Brantley. And on Tuesday 10th, this week, last Tuesday, the second petition was filed by NRP's J.D. Keynes, challenging the results of the St. Paul's constituency she contested against Spencer Brand, who won by 27 votes. This is what J.D. Keynes said.
I just want to say thanks to everyone who partnered to make this possible. I also want to thank everyone who encouraged me to move this matter forward. I have always felt that the December 12, 2022 elections were not fair across the board, and based on a number of factors, we are here today. I won't comment on the specifics of the petition, but I thought it necessary to let the people of Nevis, the people of St. Paul, know that their change agent is standing up for what is right.
Standing up for what is right. Now, Mark Brantley now has an oversupply of political, economic, social, and other problems. A staunch CCM supporter, Michael Doe, did not mince his words about Brantley's rejection by the people. And this I found very, very interesting as well.
They use the position that they are in government they use the position to enrich themselves. People are not stupid. They are not there for people. They are there for themselves. They are there to enrich themselves. They are not there to really look out for the poor man. CCM disrespectful. CCM callous. CCM doesn't really care about its supporters. And people are fed up of that. People are fed up of that.
And that's coming from a big CCM supporter. But since Mark Brantley became premier in 2018, the economy in Nevis has gone into the doldrums. He has been hemming and hawing with geothermal, and that comes with so many legacy issues.
You mentioned the geothermal project. You are correct. We had some momentum. We, in fact, had cleared the lands, and we hoped that we would have, at this stage, been doing what is necessary. I'm aware now that the parties are in discussions because there have been some requests to revise some aspects of the agreements, and those requests are being dealt with, and so legal teams have been engaged to try and get a resolution on those issues. A new company has come into the fray, a company called Albioma, A-L-B-I-O-M-A, and Albioma has joined NREI as the entities that are involved in that project, and so Albioma has had its own requirements that we are seeking to address, and so that is where we are.
And my Straight Talk family, his recent announcement on geothermal development, I will take with a grain of salt. So too, with the secretive development of the Vance Amory International Airport, which he has agreed to lease or sell to this Moroccan-born billionaire who holds citizenship for France and Israel as well. For some time now, Mark Brantley signaled to Nevis that his wealthy friends need to land their aircraft on Nevis instead of St. Kitts.
You know, Nevis has a substantial number of very wealthy people who have homes here, many of whom own private jets. And a lot of them complain that they would like to fly directly into Nevis, get in their vehicle and go home. Instead of that, they're forced to fly into St. Kitts because of the inadequacy of the runway in particular.
And that's the situation. So this billionaire in Nevis owns 2 planes, a Falcon 7X and a Bombardier Global 7500, which cannot take off on a runway like the one at the airport in Nevis, that is just 4,000 feet in length. But these planes need a runway of some 5,505 feet and 5,800 feet, respectively. Recall as well that Mark Brantley first signed an agreement to give away the Vance Amory International Airport to a company called B&L Worldwide Limited in 2019. So way back in 2019, Vance Amory International Airport came under the scrupulous hands of the new Premier, Mark Brantley. And he intended to give away that airport since in 2019, when he really decided that it is time to literally, as I said, give away the airport. Mark Brantley did not intend to keep that airport as a Nevisian asset, my Straight Talk family. And that is always a problem, and it's been so secretive. He's been so secretive with the plans for the airport that many people do not even believe when we hear these things right here on Straight Talk. Because Brantley is such a secretive guy, and Brantley is all about Brantley, and he has nothing good for Nevis. I don't know how the Nevisians stick Brantley this long, if you ask me that question. I just don't know how. Because Mark Brantley wanted to give away that airport, as I said, since in 2019. And we always bring you the facts.
Can we have an update on B&L Enterprises?
B&L Enterprises had proposed a very ambitious project to create what is called a transportation hub here on Nevis. That was the project that was being discussed. Post-COVID, well, I shouldn't say post-COVID because we're still in the COVID period. During this period, we have written to B&L to say that we would not wish to continue with that project of that scale. And what we are now proposing to do at the Vance Amory International Airport is a much reduced scale of project. We've asked them if they're so minded to participate in that, where we would want to do some work there to make the airport more viable for private jet traffic, rather than what was anticipated, which was to create an international hub to bring flights, long-haul flights from Europe, etc. We thought that given the circumstances now and the uncertainty associated with travel going forward, that would no longer be a wise course. And so we are in discussions with them to scale back what it is they had proposed and to bring other partners into play as well to assist us with a smaller version of what we had initially anticipated. So that's where we are with B&L. We have written to them to indicate that to them.
And that was 2020. But who would believe, which Nevisian would believe, that in May 2022, just last year, unknown to the people of Nevis, the conniving Mark Brantley secretly signed an agreement with Blue Airport Limited, a company set up by this billionaire, to sell or lease the airport. And that is why the people of Nevis sent home Alexis Jeffers in the first instance, who was harassing some homeowners to relocate their properties without providing any alternative. The billionaire has agreed to spend $24 million and give the NIA 30% of whatever amount of revenue is collected. And once this billionaire has recovered all his investment, then the proceeds will all go to the Nevis Island administration. Blue Airport Limited expects to benefit from the Nevis Island administration's exemption from personal or corporate taxes for all matters relating to revenue from the project, from the management of the airport and or leasing of the hangar for a period of 15 years or for the entire repayment period. Mark Brantley has continued to hide this information from the people of Nevis. So sad he got back there and we could not expose him Nevisians. But our second observation, we are still pursuing the management of the MSR Media Limited. They came to St. Kitts and Nevis with an empty briefcase. But after 2 short years and a monthly stipend of $400,000 paid from the Nevis Treasury. Yes, $400,000 monthly paid from the Nevis Treasury. We are now hearing great things about them. Coming to St. Kitts and Nevis with an empty briefcase. And now,
Mark Brantley, who is the Premier of Nevis, the economy.
Yes, there is a financial arrangement with MSR. I believe the number is $150,000.
We are prepared to do 35 films over the next 5 years. Along with our development, we are finalizing the purchase of a hotel in St. Kitts so that we can have a base to produce and train people in St. Kitts.
Yes, and you know, and as we have spoken before, that you will definitely have our support.
And my Straight Dog family, Prime Minister Drew has offered support, but is still tight-lipped with respect to the amount of money being paid to MSR from the St. Kitts Treasury. This is the kind of transparency and accountability practiced by Drew and his cabinet. That's the new way, better day. And as we move into 2023, we cannot forget that the country is still waiting for a response to a reporter's question posed some 4 months ago. 4 long months ago, a reporter asked Prime Minister Drew this simple question.
Good afternoon, LaShawn Dixon. Prime Minister, last time we had a count of how much CBI applications had been processed was in 2018. The question is, how many passports have been processed up until this date? And how many citizenship applications have you signed off on since in the first 100 days since taking office? And second question is, what is the general breakdown of nationalities who are willing to get citizenship, economic citizenship from St. Kitts and Nevis? And
Right.
Is there a plan to put a cap on any nationality?
Is there a plan to?
Put a cap on economic citizenship?
Right, so the questions you have asked are very good questions, and we'll have to get back to you on the numbers because they are very, very specific, and I don't want to not give you. All right, so we can always work on disclosing. We'll do that. Let me say, on on a number of things that you asked with respect to the numbers. Those are critical questions to ask, and we'll get back to you with respect to those numbers, and you can contact us as well to be specific. All right?
Get back to you when is the question. We understand as well. The prison project, which was so corrupt while in opposition, has no doubt now been sanitized, as we are told that he has signed over 3,000 applications under this alternative investment option of the CBI. The prison project was so corrupt, but all of a sudden it continues without change.
I am no lawyer. Government was advised on the particular post. There was no objection. If it is wrong, why are they continuing it? You can't appropriate and reprobate, because anyone can make an allegation, however reckless it is, especially in the civil season. The season has now ended. The government has had the benefit of the in-house opinion, which our Attorney General would have relied upon in bringing certain proposals to the cabinet. But if it's so fundamentally wrong with how they are continuing with an illegality, does it make sense to reasonable people? Doesn't. Program is being continued. It was so corrupt. You have not a single of evidence of any corrupt activity being provided. You have the government determining that it was in the national interest to continue the program. So they claim, and they have continued it. Nothing has changed.
Absolutely nothing has changed. But this is the government that we are dealing with. It's a new day, a better way. But these are our observations in review, my Straight Talk family, and we will continue to keep you posted as time progresses. But again, and if you have just joined me, we welcome 2023 as a year that my Straight Talk family will take part in discussing matters of public interest. We welcome 2023 as the year when you, my Straight Talk family, and all of us will take part in matters and discuss matters of topical importance. But you will recognize that my caption for tonight has changed. My caption tonight has been forcibly changed, I may add. It has been changed to protection of freedom of expression. And that's a constitutional guaranteed freedom. The St. Kitts Nevis Constitution of 1983. If you flip your pages to section 12, subsection 1, it reads, and I quote, "Except with his own consent, a person shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions without interference, freedom to receive ideas and information without interference, freedom to communicate ideas and information without interference, whether the communication is to the public generally or to any person or class of persons, and freedom from interference with his correspondence." My Straight Talk family, this afternoon, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucien Wilkin. Did you hear me, my Straight Talk family? This afternoon at approximately 5 o'clock, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucien Wilkin. And I ask myself, and I wonder, how many of you know what is an ex parte injunction? So let me tell you what it is in my layman's language. An ex parte injunction is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he is even going to the court. Let me repeat that. My Straight Talk family, as I said, this afternoon at approximately 5 p.m., I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucien Wilkin. I am restrained from providing the details, but I can tell you that at 5 o'clock this afternoon, at my home, relaxing quietly, I got a call and someone was at my gate. And then I went downstairs and I was served with an ex parte injunction filed, as I said, at the instance of one Garth Lucien Wilkin. We know who he is. We also know, or in the event you don't know what is an ex parte injunction, from a layman's perspective, I will say that an ex parte injunction is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he is even going to the court. But my Straight Talk family, I want to inform you that my lawyer will deal with that injunction. I must inform you as well, my Straight Talk family, that my lawyer has assured me that he will deal with that injunction at the earliest opportunity. And that suffices for now, my Straight Talk family. So tonight, let us look at protection of freedom of expression. And as I said, it is a constitutional right. We are guaranteed several freedoms within our Constitution, one of which is the freedom of expression. We are guaranteed by our Constitution the protection of freedom of expression. And let's say again, Section 12, subsection 1 of our Constitution reads, except with his own consent, a person, any person, shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of expression, including the freedom to hold opinions without interference, freedom to receive ideas and information without interference, freedom to communicate ideas and information without interference, whether the communication is to the public generally or to any person or class of persons, and freedom from interference with his correspondence. And that's what they wanted or want to take away from you, my Straight Talk family. As I said, again, if you didn't hear me well, this afternoon, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin. Did you hear me? This afternoon, I repeat, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin. And I wonder how many of you know what's an ex parte injunction. And let me tell you what is an ex parte injunction. It is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he is even going to court. Let me repeat that. An ex parte injunction is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he's even going to court. But my Straight Talk family, my lawyer will deal with that injunction. And my lawyer has assured me that he will deal with the injunction at the earliest opportunity. Remember, I said it was served at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. The courts are closed. But my lawyer has assured me we'll deal with that as soon as possible. You see, this is the kind of government and the kind of leaders that we have, who talk about transparency, who talk about accountability, and who talk about good governance. Well, that's a new brand of good governance. Yes, they talk lots of things, but talk is cheap, whiskey costs money. Whiskey costs money.
We are at a proverbial fork in the road in our history. The people have asked for openness, fairness, accountability, and good governance from the people who sit on this side. That time is now. I am proud, personally, to be a man of action. Not one who just likes to bang his mouth. I can beat my chest and boast that I am a hard worker.
Yes, my Straight Talk family. The people have asked for transparency, accountability, and good governance. But today, I was served with this ex parte injunction filed by this same man, Garth Lucian Wilkin. Imagine that. We are
at a proverbial fork in the road.
Proverbial fork in the road.
The people have asked for openness, fairness, accountability, and good governance from the people who sit on this side. That time is now. I am proud, personally, to be a man of action. Not one who just likes to bang his mouth. I can beat my chest and boast that I am a hard worker. I enjoy being a lawyer. I want to continue being a lawyer. I am a lawyer right now. I'm working as a lawyer. So I want to keep doing that because that's my passion and my love.
Passion and love of my Straight Talk family, I can assure you that no one will muzzle me in this country. I will not be like an horse or a mule whose mouth will be held with bit and bridle, lest they will come near me. So my family, my lawyers have assured me that that injunction will be dealt with at the earliest opportunity. That suffice what I'll say tonight. I'll open the lines, my straight talk family. But you see, the kind of government we have, the kind of leaders we have. I am not in Iran. I am not in China. I am not in Cuba. I'm in St. Kitts Nevis, the freest country in the world, one of the freest countries in the world. But here's what. They filed an injunction and trying to restrain me. An ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Wilkin. It's 5 before the 9 o'clock hour. I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails, my Straight Talk family. Remember, the numbers are 646-829-6672 or 663-6672. I implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. At 4 before 9, I go to the lines. Caller, you're live. I am peaceful, my dear. Yourself? Happy? I wish you the same. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have a good night as well, my dear family. My straight dog family, I have a suspicion that I did not allow the audience to hear what you were saying, because I believe I muted your mic, and you know it's so unfair to you. I perhaps should give you the opportunity to say it again, and for me to also tell you a Happy New Year. I pray for your continuing good health and your happiness as well. I did have your phone muted, so I'm sorry for that.
The same to you. That's okay. That's okay. It's you I wanted to speak to. I'm talking to you personally.
Okay, my dear.
So I love you.
I love you more.
And enjoy your balance of the night.
I love you more.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good
night. Bye. Love you too.
That's South Carolina, I think that is. Yes, I inadvertently had your mic muted. But the lines are open, my Straight Talk family. And it's now 1 minute before 9 o'clock. And if you just joined me, they have today served, imagine that, served an ex-party injunction on your humble servant. All I do is talk the truth. All I do is educate my people. Caller, you live. Could you turn your equipment down? Hello, caller?
Hello?
Yeah, turn your radio down or your computer down, whatever you're listening to.
Yes.
No, I can hear it feeding back. Could you turn it down, please?
Okay, I'm going further. Can you hear me?
Just turn it off. Just listen to the telephone. You don't have to listen to that at all. Listen to your telephone. Yes.
But I move far away. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you better, but I prefer you lock it up. But go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Patches, don't bother with them. It's just this week. They say it is they send home your daughter. They're getting personal. You're going to talk to things them.
Okay. Yes.
Don't bother with them, Patches. Radio ain't the only medium. We got other mediums. The truth must be told. Don't bother with them. And we get on. Good night.
Yes, have a good night, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you are live, caller. Hello, you're live. Hello, caller.
A pleasant good evening to you. And a bright and prosperous new year to you.
The same to you, my dear. I pray for your good health and happiness. Yes.
Do not take on those people there. They want to have their say, but you must have the say. But tell me, you are the one they have to deal with. They have a lot out there to deal with. So if they're going to give you an injunction, then they must get prepared to give the whole nation out here a junction, because it's saying you want talking, everybody talking. They want to have the say, but you must have the say. As the old people them say, the truth hurts. Don't take them on. Have your peace. Have your show. We out here with you. Have a pleasant night.
Thank you very much. And all is required, and all we stickle for, all we stipulate on Straight Talk is to talk the truth. We don't tolerate fabrication, and lies. We don't tolerate that at all on Straight Talk. For example, you hear the Prime Minister Joe said that the task force tell him that the former administration had a recommendation since May to open the country. What lies? How irresponsible as a doctor as well. But let's go back to the lines. Call you live. Hello,
thank you. Good evening, Dr. Ian Patches Liburd.
How are you, my dear brother? Your humble servant.
Oh well. Okay. Oh well, your radical friend is good. I'm okay. And good evening to all the listeners of Straight Talk. Patches, I want to wish you a happy New Year.
Thank you.
And all the best for the New Year and the rest to come.
I wish you the same, my brother.
Right. And good evening to the brave warriors who are not afraid to call in on Straight Talk and talk. They are real soldiers of their conscience, because let your conscience be your guide. Your conscience is supposed to be dictator for you, not man. And man supposed to be fear God, respect man, and speak your conscience. Let me tell Pastor Michael Doe in Nevis, good night, Pastor Michael Doe. And you have shown the world that you don't stand for foolishness. You are a real Christian. Now, if our country, let's say, is what they call it, a Christian society, why so many police have to be occupied guarding individual in this government? One got 7, one got 3, and the others got 1 each. And our country is a Christian society. What is the fearfulness of them? Be brave and walk by yourself. Do not go in a crowd like Juba, because in a crowd people will choke you and kill you in there. But when you by the sidewalk, you don't have to fear nobody. But anyway, Patches, let me tell you something. That man there who call himself Gat, or what in him, he acting like little boys through an alley under skinny pitching marble. And they got the hard talk. What stupid is he come telling you about his serving injunction to you 5 o'clock this afternoon? and he don't he gonna say it and do it like it is. He ain't banging the chest like some of them. Jack, I want to tell you, slow down. It had other age before you, and then I will operate like you. What happened to you, boy? Where you eat sulfur? That you're the baddest man in St. Kitts and on the government side? Cool out, brother. Cool out, you hear me? Because if God rule this world, and God ain't gonna let nobody take an advantage more than what the person can be. And I could see where a lot of Rastaman, real Rastaman, don't vote, even though it's their democratic right to vote. Because when you listen to some of them, oh, we're not going to victimize nobody, we're not going to turn away nobody. Look the amount of people that don't turn away this government here. Turn away. So therefore, the Bible is right. When the Bible says all liars and a lot of living up to what the Bible proclaim they are. Why you turn so much of people? The last one that I know, they turn away. Conway's Maynard uncle, and the man ain't do nothing wrong to his job. But it's just because of his political affiliation, they turn him away. But we're going to see what Conway's do now, because that's not right. But Patches, I will be back, because what's going on in our country is not right, and let somebody else come in, because let them come muzzle me too, and send junction to me. We can as much as we can. I'll be back, Patches.
Thank you for your intervention. Always happy for your contributions. I would like to take this opportunity, Mr. Liburd, to wish you a blessed New Year to you and your family. I wish you likewise as well. But read this email. Most of all, be reminded of your calling in pointing out the light truth in the darkness and taking care of the poor. The Bible man is very correct. Any church that has not that mandate in their ministry is not fit for the kingdom of God. I observed one who used to call in before the change in government. You always address her as a friend from West Bastia, and you always had a pleasant smile. When you gave her gifts in December, she was ever present. Now her conversation changes now and again. I like your policy. You welcome all, just no disrespect. For you personally, you continue to hold on to the scripture, 3 John verse 2, and pray for the members of your political party. I enjoyed the last video with the former Prime Minister. To waste time in proving one's innocence in relation to the only living hero's scandalous address is like wasting butter on bun bread. Just do like Jesus, say nothing at all. You and Dr. Harris have class. When they go low, you go high. I appreciate your knowledge of the world to protect you. Always recite, read, study Psalm 20, 23, 91 in the King James and the New King James versions and the Amplified version. Blessings all the way, reads this email. Thank you very much. And I do extend heartfelt greetings as well for a wonderful, wonderful New Year. And again, my Straight Talk family, you may have just joined us. But let us welcome 2023 as a year. It's a year that's going to be filled with many challenges. It's a year that's going to be filled with complexity. It's a year that's going to be filled with uncertainty and unpredictability. Happy New Year, Patches reads this other email. All the very best to you and your family for 2023. I do wish you the same as well. Are you aware that on the 24th of September 2022, the SKNIS reported that the Attorney General promised to swiftly operationalize the Freedom of Information Act. The Attorney General, Garth Lucian Wilkin, promised to swiftly operationalize the Freedom of Information Act. The said Attorney General, Garth Wilkin, said, and I quote, "Our Prime Minister, who shares my passion, has therefore instructed me to swiftly implement the Integrity in Public Life Act, the Freedom of Information Act, and a brand new Anti-Corruption Act. Those laws will be fully operational in 2022. Is this the same Attorney General who you said has gone to court to obtain an ex parte injunction against you to suppress the information which all of us are aware of and are talking about? Shame on Attorney General Garth Wilkin, and trust me, Patches, just be patient, because you will live to see him fall, either caused by his own stumble or because he was pushed." Yes, my Straight Talk family, it is the same one. And I said earlier, we welcome 2023. It's going to be a difficult year. It's going to be a year of challenges. But it's going to be a year when I invite my Straight Talk family to take part in discussing matters of public interest and topical importance. And let us not be stifled. All I ask you whenever you call on the telephone is to speak the truth. And it is even more important now to repeat this. I thought we had passed that stage, but we have gone back to the situation, it seems, that whenever you speak the truth in St. Kitts and Nevis, under this Jew Labor administration, with the chief or principal legal advisor who wants to muzzle you. But let us be prepared to stand alone. And even though this afternoon, as I said, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin, I would not be swayed. I will not be afraid. My family, the court has issued an order, and I will comply with the court order and the terms of the order, because I am a law-abiding citizen. The court has issued instructions within this ex parte injunction, and I cannot speak about them because that's the order of the court. But I can assure you, my Straight Dog family, that my lawyer will deal with this injunction. Because we're not in China, we're not in Iran, we're not in some communist country that we can't talk. Is that a new way and better day in St. Kitts? Come on. You have so many important things to deal with. So many important things to deal with. But you don't like to hear the truth. But the Straight Talk was here before Garth Wilkin became Attorney General. And Straight Talk will be here even when Garth Wilkin is no longer Attorney General. Happy 2023, Ambassador. Hope you're well rested and continue to remain peaceful. We look forward to another interesting night, and as usual, your observation. My observation relates to the lavish Prime Minister's ball, water woes, Nothing for the average person as far as wages and employment is concerned. Across the Narrows, we have election petitions, shootings, and homicides. Please continue to keep us educated. Yes, I was looking forward to educate my people tonight on a particular issue, but we cannot, according to the instructions of the court, speak on that issue. Because of what I said, this ex parte injunction which was served on me at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm smiling. You ask me what's an ex parte injunction? Very interesting. It is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for hearing without informing the other side. So they asked for a hearing without informing me that he was even going to court. But my straight dog family, my lawyer, will deal with that, and he promised he will deal with that expeditiously. It's now 16 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour, and again, I wish you a very, very happy New Year. I pray for your continuing good health, all of you. I also pray for happiness for all of us, my straight dog family. And you know, my straight dog family, you would be, it's very interesting to see that we have issues to deal with. I was going to deal with a particular issue tonight, and it's a topic that I really thought would have helped to educate our people in terms of, you know, the laws of our country, our immigration laws, our labor laws, our laws as it relates to Social Security. But at some other time, we will be able to express and have a discussion on those laws, how they work, you know, how the Protection of Employment Act and subsidiary legislation works, you know, what is payable under the legislation, you know, the penalties, for example, where the payment of a contribution is in default, the defaulting employer becomes liable to pay, not in addition to the contribution, right? And the penalties are stipulated in these particular legislation. And some people don't read the legislation, but my straight dog family, I guided by the order of the court. So, if you just join me, my straight dog family, and you wonder, you would observe that my thesis tonight suddenly changed just before my program. And I cannot even mention, I'm not permitted by order of the court to make mention of my thesis, my dissertation that I had planned to talk about tonight. I could not really speak to that. And my family, I, at the very last minute, changed my thesis to the protection of our freedom of expression. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller?
Yes, yes, cuz.
What I'm saying to you, what happened in the dark must come out the light. And one thing with you, you always have your speech back up. You always have your speech back up, so don't worry. Be happy. Be happy and wait on the Lord, because the Lord will fight your battle for you. No one else but the Lord. Have a good night once again.
Have a good night as well. Yes. You know, the good book says that each of us must appear before the judgment seat of Christ. And we may, hear this, we just may be recompensed for the things that we have done. My family, there are many people who would say many things. And this email reads, and provides quotations from several Bible verses. Matthew 4, verse 17. From that time, Jesus began to preach. Jesus began to preach and said, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. And my family, as we continue to examine the issues before us, we have an AG who cherry picks the law. I have dealt with that before. But those are the facts. Now, my family, in this country, we all are entitled to freedom. We boast that we are the freest country, or one of the freest countries in the world. And when I got that service today, you know, I felt a mood of militance. I felt to be militant. I said, how could anyone stop Patches from talking in this country? And that's how I felt. But I decided to let common sense prevail, because we'll all have our day. As they said, every dog got a day. Every dog got a day. And today for you, tomorrow for me. Caller, you live. Hello.
Yes, I am back, Mr. Patches.
So,
well, if people who are listening to this program carefully, if they don't realize what Mr. Wilkin and the others, their motive is to keep you shut down. Because when you were on the government radio station, they had a lot of accusation, and all kind of people used to call in on the Sugar Walkers Money platform and say that Patches is supposed to be on the radio talking his mind. You're not telling any lies. You're not making up any false accusation at anybody. You're speaking the truth. Well, anyway, the first Monday after August the 5th, your program started, and it was cut off and said, the moderator said, well, that he wasn't supposed to play that. And that was the end of you on the government radio station that they were saying belongs to the whole nation. Anybody should be able to go there. But now, you're on a private radio station, and you're paying your money because your mouth do not have on a muzzle. Like when them farmers going mountain with the cattle and cane used to be spoiling. They had to put on a wire muzzle around the cattle mouth that you don't eat, don't go cocaine. They want to put on a muzzle on your mouth now. Still, even though you're on a private, why you think why you think they want to do that? Because they don't want the truth to come out. And your program is speaking the truth. And what we are speaking on your radio is the wrong things that they are doing to people in this country. Look how many persons used to call in on your program. And look them out, got on the muzzle. And they want to put that on you. It can't happen. They cannot put it on me and Jamdong and Oyo, Frederick and Nabu and Alice and Maisie and others. They cannot do it. Because we know our rights. And it is FOS, freedom of speech. No constitution could tell me when to talk, and if I could talk, I do a talk. But like you said, you respect the court, and once something is in the courthouse, just leave it alone, let the courts deal with that. And God, mighty God Almighty, the Creator, He rules the world, not man. And all who believe the bad and could bang the chest, let us see now, let us bang the chest now and say that some people now, they are not friendly with the treasury. Let you check that out. And because he's afraid that we bring out that on straight talk, that's why he can't talk, but he file in injunction and the other person, and don't want the other person to know that. That is, God is a guide border, and don't be no fearful. I am so glad that God ain't had nobody when he made the world to mark God and company, God alone, and no man more powerful than God. He's the higher power, and he got the handle, and he knows what he's doing, and he will do what is to be done to all of us on this earth here. Not a man on this earth here is sinless.
Okay.
So them who going on like they don't have no sin, and they want to kill and crush people like you, who openly, and you don't hide it, you talk it like it is, and then you have the sound bite of their own voice.
Evidence.
With what they said. You were saying something?
Have the evidence.
That's right. That's right, Patrick, the evidence. The evidence. And when you play the evidence, it's their own voice they're hearing, and they don't want that. So they're trying all the best to muzzle. Why they don't muzzle them who get in on another platform and cussing who not in government and not taking them on, saying all manner of evil. Let them go and do that. Muzzle them there. Tell them learn to respect people's position.
Okay, my brother.
Respect them. Don't be troubling people if they ain't troubling you. That is, I'll be back, brother.
Thank you very much for your input.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, we fear not what man can do unto you, because God is always in the midst. They can't even really slow you down, much less to stop you. It's 9:28.
Hello.
Call you live. Yes, call.
Yeah, hello. Culture, so you're talking the truth, right? You say you got evidence. Continue talking then, no?
Okay.
You should continue talking.
What you want me to talk about?
You say y'all got evidence and culture, so y'all talking the truth. Continue talking then.
What you have, you talk for yourself. What you have to say.
No, man, you're not to say. I'm glad to see you no fire, you prefer your mouth.
So, okay, have yourself a good night. That's one of those. That you find them. That's what straight talk is all about. You know, what he's saying is really nothing. Well, if that is so, why are they putting an injunction on why? Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
All right, we're on Straight Talk.
Yes, you're live on Straight Talk.
So let's start the truth on Straight Talk. Mr. Liburd, have you and Timothy Harris decided to apologize to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for giving them a Labour government? Let's start the truth. You won the last election on a PAM ticket.
No, the one before. The one before.
The one before you were on a PAM ticket. But let's start the truth.
A unity ticket. A unity ticket.
No. You run under the umbrella of the People's Action Movement.
No, we ran as a unity.
No, Mr. Liburd. Mr. Liburd. Your symbol was the hat. Wasn't that true?
You had a tripartite.
Mr. Liburd, let's start the truth. Your symbol was the hat. Wasn't that true?
Go ahead, my friend. Your opinion is not the truth, but go ahead.
No, I'm asking you. You say we're talking the truth. Wasn't your symbol the hat?
I'm going to apply the Mark Twain theory here.
You should tell the public what you did to the PAM party. Why you did betray the PAM party. You should tell the general public that. Let's start the truth. Let's start the truth why Team Unity is in opposition today. Because of people like yourself who keep beating down the PAM people who was part of the government with your colleagues. As tonight I hear you jumping on Mark Brantley. Before the last election, you were using Mark Brantley the same way. Let's start the truth, Mr. Liburd. We are straight talk, so let's talk straight. Timothy Harris can't strip it. Let's start the truth. We are straight talk. Let us say why St. and Nevis is the predicament that we're in. Because you are betraying the people. The people have the faith in you all, in Team Unity. But because of greed and selfishness, Team Unity fall apart. Let's start the truth, Mr. Liburd. Let us tell the people why Team Unity fall apart. Let's tell them. They want to know. Because the people of St. and Nevis didn't want that labor. But you are forced labor and the people of St. and Nevis. Let's start the truth, Mr. Liburd. Let us start the truth. If we are on straight talk, let's not be afraid to call a spade a spade. You call on Timothy Harris to speak a third term on this same straight talk program. You have the evidence that Timothy Harris say you want to, but you keep asking for 3. Let's get the evidence. You have it. Take the clip. Mr. Liburd, let's start the truth. You come in now buying about what God doing you. He have a right because you opened the door for him. Let's start the truth. Isn't that so, Mr. Liburd? Isn't that so, Mr. Liburd? Are you there?
When you tied yourself, you're finished? I'll give you 10 more seconds.
No. I'm asking you some questions.
I will give you 10 more seconds, caller. You have your...
You give me 10 more seconds.
10 more seconds.
Mr. Liburd.
Yes.
Mr. Liburd.
Go ahead.
Tell St. Nevis, as a PAM candidate, you refuse to go to PAM executive. Tell St. Nevis why. When you say PAM betray you, is you turn you back on PAM.
Okay, but thanks a lot for your input, my dear brother. I gave you all night. Let's go take this other call. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Hello, good night, Mr. Patches.
You're live, my dear. Hello.
Mr. Patches, you're a godly man. You understand? Don't study with people. You run on a PAM ticket because PAM was in the wilderness. Don't let anybody come on the radio come tell you. Don't come tell you no stupidness.
No, but
you understand? And PAM will never see light again in this place because I was a PAM. From the time I was born, I was a PAM. And PAM treat the people thing. But you see, when you see Patches, they grudge you. You know why they grudge you? Because you're a truthful man. You're an honest man. You're for the poor. You and Timothy Harris for the poor. You understand? Because up in your tongue, you give some people medicine, you give them all kind of things. But ungratefulness worse than witchcraft. You understand? I'm not trying to tell you again. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. Don't study that Adri. Because he feels like a king now. But king does fall. And wherever you go, and whenever the court starts, we coming. Tell him, we coming. We mean, you You help us, and we're going to help you because we're going to demonstrate to labor people that think it ain't belongs to them. Think it belongs to the poor, and labor does not like the poor people. This is what I tell people. Labor don't like the poor. How he gonna come on and come stop you from telling us what's going on? He can't stop you. God ain't God. Them ain't God patches. You is a godly man. You pray before you come on. You ever hear labor people praying when they come on and when they going out? They never. Timothy just pray. You just pray. Because Sean be now. Sean in the wilderness. They will never see light again. Not them. Never. Because the father for them was supposed to tell them unity is the way around. He tell them what unity. What unity? What you call that? A father? Timothy, fret not thyself of evil doers, because the soon we cut them like the green grass that wither. And boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest what tomorrow may bring forth. Patches, you enjoy the rest of your life. And we gonna be here to stay, because labor ain't gonna stop us. They will never stop us, and they could never stop us, and they could never stop you. So tell the energy that we say that this finger, don't forget the finger, because they're coming out. Patches, we love you. We're gonna rally with you, and may God to continue bless this country. God bless you, and God bless Timothy Harris, because he's going back in. He is going back in. You understand? So don't let him bring you down. God, you the heart. Thank you very much, my love. We love you to death. See you.
I love you more, my dear. Thank you very much as well. You know, on Straight Talk, everyone is entitled to his or her opinion. But I always hasten to add that opinions are not facts. But I also want to say as well that in 2015, we ran as a team unity construct. I don't like the word construct, but I'll use it just for the sake of going forward. And I have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Yes, I ran, and my symbol was the hat, because Pam approached me in the scheme of our unity construction and thought I would be the best candidate in 2015 for this unity construct. And for sure, time proved them right. Because whether you like to hear it or not, I, Ian Patches Liburd, won that seat that was occupied by Labour since 1993. 22 long years and 5 successive elections, Pam lost the seat in constituency number 1. So there's no need for me to defend anything, my dear brother. But as I said to you, I will apply the Mark Twain theory. And Mark Twain theory goes like this. You never argue with a fool, because you'll have to stoop to their level and they will beat you with experience. Caller, thank you for holding your line. Hello, caller.
Mr. Patches, good night.
Good night, sir.
As you just said, for 21 years, Pam didn't win the seat. But the margins were coming down and down and down. It so happened that you were the candidate at the time when the Pam vote was more than the Labour vote.
My friend, can I ask you a question?
You also, Mr. Patches.
My friend, please. Can I ask you? No, please. I can do 2 things. I can turn your volume down so only you can hear yourself, right? Let's do it this way. My name is Ian Patches Liburd. What is your name?
Mr. Patches. Listen to me carefully.
My name is Ian Patches Liburd. What is your name?
I don't have to tell you my name.
Well, I want to know who I'm speaking with. So, until I know, because you're talking from an anonymous standpoint, and you're saying some things that are so inaccurate. All right? So, until you can say your name, I won't tolerate it. What is your name, sir?
Wasn't you the candidate when the Labour Party?
Okay, my brother. But I don't normally do this, but I'll have to do this tonight because it's not really educating us. Our program is about educating people, right? You've had your say, and you're looking at an argument. And as I said, I like Mark Twain. Mark Twain said to all of us, you never argue with a fool because you'll have to stoop to their level and they will beat you with experience. So I won't argue with this one. But my Straight Talk family, as I said, for those who have just joined us, I welcome 2023 as a year that my Straight Talk family will take part in discussing matters of public interest and topical importance. That's what I look forward for 2023. And we want to discuss things in a rational way. We don't want to be arguing. We don't argue on Straight Talk. You have your say, and I have my say. As the host of this program, I am not obligated to respond to any questions. The questions come from this side of the mic. And if we are not afraid, just say who you are. Say who you are. Especially when you're making certain statements and allegations. No, we won't tolerate that. Because this afternoon, as I said, I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin. Did you hear me? I said I was served, beg your pardon, with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin. How many of us know what's an ex parte injunction? Let me tell you what's an ex parte injunction. It is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked the court for a hearing without informing the other side. And my family, we will hear more about that. Call you live.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing how frustrated you're looking right now on the TV.
Yes, I'm looking frustrated.
Yeah, you could tell because you don't normally ask Carlos for the name, and just now you shut off a call because he decided to give you the name.
Well, that's my prerogative, isn't it? Don't you think?
I want you to pay for your mouth, that what I want.
That's all. That's all you have to. You said that before, so you said that before. That's the only thing you have to say. Come on, My Straight Talk family. The only defense to libel or defamation is the truth. Why should I be afraid? The only defense to libel or to defamation is the truth. So you need not worry, you need not fear if you're talking the truth. And I'm at peace. Every time you ask me how am I said I'm at peace. I am peaceful. That's my normal term. Because I'm at peace with my God. I'm at peace with myself. And I'm at peace with the world. Now, we took a break for Christmas. And we reflected on many things before Christmas. For 93 years, economies were shattered because over the last 3 years and more, we had to grapple with a coronavirus-induced pandemic that brought the entire world to a virtual halt. For 93 years, economies were shattered, and even as I speak, there are concerns about continuous emerging variants when we consider the effects on our country and on us as a people. The issue of jobs are well known. Also disruption to the production and supply chains. So to inflation and the threat of recession. The ongoing Russian-Ukraine war has further threatened our economies, thus creating more complexity and uncertainty. And I have not heard any real strategy coming from the incumbent administration. How could they help us to deal with this unpredictable world in which we now have to live? I have not heard that. When I listened to the budget session, every single presentation from the government benches were just full of fat, as I said. They were. And my family, I can say so without fear of contradiction. We talk about diversification. They want to diversify the CBI. What have they done to the CBI? They want to diversify tourism. What have they done to tourism? Absolutely nothing, nada. But all they have and all they promote is secrecy. They talk about transparency. No. They want things done in the dark. Prime Minister Joe, for example, has signed almost 3,000 applications for the prison project. He said the prison project was bad. But what have they done to the prison project? It was so bad, it was so corrupt. But they have done nothing to change it.
I am no lawyer. Government was advised on the particular course. There was no objection. If it is wrong, why are they continuing it? You can't appropriate and reprobate because anyone can make an allegation, however reckless it is, especially in the civil season. The season has now ended. The government has had the benefit of the in-house opinion, which our Attorney General would have relied upon in bringing certain proposals to the cabinet. But if it's so fundamentally wrong with how they are continuing with an illegality, does it make sense to reasonable people? Doesn't. Program is being continued. It was so corrupt. You have not a scintilla of evidence of any corrupt activity being provided. You have the government determining that it was in the national interest to continue the program. So they claim, and they have continued it. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed with the prison project, which was so corrupt. And this email reads, Patches, these idiots on the air really expose their idiocy when they open their mouths. Get Sean and others in PAM putting them up to calling. When will PAM really tell their base the truth about their role in wrecking team unity based on Mark Brantley's master plan of trickery and diabolical manipulation? Well, you know, emailer, I take your point, and I really didn't want to answer this good gentleman who is hiding behind the cloak of anonymity. Because you see, two of the members of PAM, Lindsey Grant and John L. Powell, they went before the court and they were cited and found guilty of misappropriation. That good gentleman should talk about that. If he's willing to talk about the misappropriation done by Grant and Jonell, then we start to talk. But you see, the good gentleman, I criticize the guard hut at UDC. It was costing $250,000, which is still not complete. I spoke of two lights, a column of lights, or two poles with lights in Sandy Point costing over $1 million installed by Skelec. When under my ministry, we completed the park, the Keon Park, with 6 columns for $1.5 million. 6 columns of lights. These are not things we fabricate. These are not things we make up. These are facts. But I don't want to go back there now, because at some stage we will get there, my family. Good night, Mr. Liburd. All the best for the new year. God's blessing and abundance and perfect health to you and your family. Keep up the good fight. It's about time you showed them who is in control of the program. You should mute them more often when they want to go against or spew their own narratives and foolish agendas, reads that email. This other email reads, Happy New Year, and welcome back to your show, reads this email. It is unfortunate that you were served with this injunction. Your show continues to expose the deceit and corrupt practices of the Labour Party. The folks running this evil empire are nervous and running scared of the truth that is supposed to set us all free. The AG, Garth Wilkin, is a pompous jackass and needs his mouth fitted with the bits of an ass to muzzle him. What is Garth and his gang afraid of? How long does he think he can manipulate and ruin others before his enemies push back against him? To Garth Wilkin, I say, when you charge someone, there's nothing left for them to do but attack. Freedom of speech is alive and well. Our Creator didn't take away our free will. Why does he believe he can? Shame on the Attorney General who believes he's a slave master living up on Nob Hill and looking down on the peasants he spits on. Continue beaming the truth over the airways. We are listening and will help you to hold your arms up when you grow weary. The evil empire will soon be no more. Greece, Italy, Spain, England were all once giants. Those countries are now by the wayside, licking their wounds and unable to get up and get going. Mr. Patches, I urge you to stay strong and keep the truth coming. You are doing something right. Your truth is cutting off the blood circulation of the Labour Party. Keep telling it as it is. Dr. Jew is a highly accomplished liar and is becoming a laughing stock all over the world. Dr. Jew needs to know, birds that fly high never die high. The people who reverence him now will soon extract their pound of flesh for him. So happy you did not entertain that non-compos mentis person waiting to draw you into an argument. Never entertain a fool. Congratulations on another great show tonight. Stay strong, and may God bless you with a wonderful year of success, reads that email. My Straight Talk family, it's 5 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. I'll take these other emails as well. Hi, good night, Mr. Liburd. God's blessing for 2023. I'm from Nevis. The unity was undermined by Mark. Imagine he threw Premier Amri out of the party he created and Mr. Harris out of unity. That's why we will throw him out of the NIA, reads that email. My Straight Talk family, it's 4 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. It's a new year. It's 2023. If you have joined me for the first time, I trust it won't be your last time. I welcome you to this first edition of Straight Talk. Straight Talk is a program when we entertain all sides and all views. At times as well, my family, we will have to just disassociate ourselves and do not allow certain views for 2023. I welcome 2023 as a year. As a year, my Straight Talk family, and hope will take part in discussing matters of public interest and topical importance, but in a rational way. We don't need to argue and we don't need to fight. You have an opinion, I will respect your opinion, but I do not necessarily have to accept your opinion. If we are going to argue, you won't find an argument with me. Because as I said, I'll quote Mark Twain, I do not argue with fools. Caller, you're live.
Well, Brother Patrice, I just called to tell you, have a safe drive journey home until next week. And you just go church regular.
Yes.
And you know what Proverbs said? Answer not a fool to his folly, else he would be wise in his own conceit. That caller said, you must start the truth. And he keep lamenting and speak the truth. But he did not speak the truth because he tell a lie. And Dr. Harris, we all heard him. He said that Dr. Harris said Sean's stupid, and Dr. Harris never used stupid because you don't use that word stupid in the public and especially on a medium platform. If you and somebody in the street facing each other and are cussing, well, that's something different, but you don't use that word stupid, and Dr. Harris never used that word stupid. Dr. Harris used another word in a different form of expression. So when he said Dr. Harris said he's stupid, he now telling a lie. Speak the truth. Anyway, you have a good night, Patrice. All the best until next week. And I wish that everybody who call in and criticize somebody who's speaking the truth, I wish they could sit back and look back at what they have said or what they are saying and let their conscience guide them to the truth and righteousness. Have a good night, Patrick. Thank you very much.
Have a good night as well, my Straight Dog family. And perhaps that's the way we should end it tonight. Because my time is done and I got to run. And again, for the first timers, Straight Talk is heard every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. Straight Talk is a public service program that entertains all views on issues, be they political, social, economic, technological, and or legal issues. My Straight Dog family, we've had a discussion tonight, and albeit, my Straight Dog family, albeit, we were prevented. We had at the last minute to change our caption, to change our thesis tonight. Our thesis was circulated. According to the court order, it had to be pulled down. And I'm one who never transgress the laws. Never in my life I got arrested. Never once in my life I got arrested. Although when I saw this order today, it really put me in, for a moment, in a militant frame of mind. But I then consider my Straight Dog family. I consider myself, and I reflected on my upbringing. And my upbringing has taught me that God is the absolute judge. It has taught me that promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but it comes from Almighty God, who sets up one and puts down the other. And no matter what you say, each of us must appear or may appear before the judgment seat of Christ. And we can't call no witnesses. No, you, me, alone, and God. And we just may be recompensed for the things that we have done. I will fear not what man can do unto me, because God is our shield and our guide. My family, as I wrap, I welcome 2023 as a year that my Straight Dog family, we will take part in discussing matters of public interest and of topical importance. Today, at about 5 p.m., I was served with an ex parte injunction filed at the instance of one Garth Lucian Wilkin. I wonder how many of you know what is an ex parte injunction. Let me tell you what is an ex parte injunction before I leave. It is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he's even going to court. Let me repeat. An ex parte injunction is an order made by the court when the person applying for the injunction has asked for a hearing without informing the other side that he's even going to court. My Straight Talk family, my lawyers will deal with that injunction. My lawyer assures me that he will deal with that injunction at the earliest opportunity.
We are at a proverbial fork in the road in our history. The people have asked for openness, fairness, accountability, and good governance from the people who sit on this side. That time is now. I am proud, personally, to be a man of action. Not one who just likes to bang his mouth. I can beat my chest and boast that I am a hard worker.
But let's work hard to ensure that there's transparency, openness, fairness, accountability, and good governance, and that the fundamental guarantees in our Constitution are protected. Protection of freedom of expression is one such, as can be gleaned from Section 12, subsection 1. And I quote, and I leave you with this quote: except with his own consent, a person shall not, underline, shall not be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions without interference, freedom to receive ideas and information without interference, freedom to communicate ideas and information without interference, whether the communication is to the public generally or to any person or class of persons, and freedom from interference with his correspondence. My Straight Talk family, as I leave you, I can assure you, I will not be like an horse or a mule, lest they will come near me, because my mouth will be held with bit and bridle. No way. Not in this country where I was born, where I was raised, and where I still live. I am going to live in my country, and I will promote the truth. I will speak the truth, even if I have to stand alone. That's the way I'm going to live in my Straight Talk family. And I want to assure you that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet. Remember that God is in the midst of everything. He is the judge. Until we connect on Monday, be good. Keep moving on. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family.